I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly I'm willing to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just dumb downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I
can tell you that 7 years after Freddie Gray, that was 2015, spring, April, May. This is 2022. Communities like Sandtown, all we saw then and now in terms of investment was a renovated Western District Police Station and a new funeral home. That's what West Baltimore got. A new police station and a new funeral home. What kind of optics are they? Was Freddie Gray any different than the 1968 Baltimore riots? Dr. King's passing, killing, murder? Is it the same?
No. I think, well, first of all, people who are being violent and burning, that's, all that's the same. But the point is what was the cause and what were they attempting to register?
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these
I love you.
they deserve it now. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover. In it to win it for the long haul, baby. I have missed you too. It's been a couple of days now. See, Monday, which is totally my fault, a scheduling conflict. I had the distinct pleasure of speaking with some of the people down in Anne Arundel County, Mr. Elder Carl Snowden, and some of the people that he meets with on a regular basis. They asked me to speak to them, and I messed up. I messed around and forgot to get me a co-host. Now, yesterday, this whole system here was going haywire, and it wasn't me. So we had to do the tech support thing, and that's one thing about running BeMoreNews.com that's been it comes with the territory that what can go wrong will go wrong. So we just have to be mindful of that, and got to keep swinging. In running a news website beginning with BeMoreNews.com, I can tell you Murphy's Law is real. Whether it's getting hacked, whether it's getting your need for a new computer, whether it's the equipment that has come along. Remember when you got a computer 20 years ago? A computer 20 years ago came with Microsoft Word, Outlook, basic little things that you need. But now everything is a la carte. So you got to adjust. It was so simple back then. Even Windows, I remember each year when they came with a new version of Windows, the only thing that would be different is that the button that was on the right is now on the left, or the button that was up here is now down here. And it's like, it's called playing obsolescence. They're playing for things to become obsolete. It's like your cell phone. No sooner as you buy your new cell phone, They're already working on a new one. What's the latest? The iPhone 13 or the 14, what have you? They're already working on 15, 16. So your cell phone is only meant to last not long. If you ask me, I would say 1.5 years. That might be stretching it. And I'm sure there's some techies out there, but based on consumer behavior and based on what we see from consumers, people tend to get a new phone every couple of years or so. Which makes you ask, well, why didn't you just make the first one right? Well, they didn't make the first one right so that you could so there would be a need for you to buy and continually buy a new phone. But that's business. It comes with the territory. We are excited. On Saturday, we have a wonderful lineup of people. I'm going to share some names with you that you will not hear anywhere else who will be at Saturday's gathering. First and foremost, we are excited to have the Lieutenant Governor Boyd K. Rutherford. We are all incredibly, phenomenally, spectacularly excited about the first Black governor. I am reminded of how we got there, how we got here. Harris Allen, if I'm not mistaken, he was the first Black statewide elected official. Richard Dixon, up in Carroll County, Black man, lived in Carroll County, was the state treasurer. There were many, many steps to get to where we are today. There were many people who forged ahead, who pressed forward, who overcame obstacles, including some of the most racist elected officials in the history of the world, right here in Maryland. But they're gone now. Good riddance. For years, we have struggled on issues like minority business enterprise, MBE. Thank goodness for people like Boyd K. Rutherford and others on both sides of the aisle who made the 29% goal of the MBE significant, that made it relevant. 29% of the contracts. We are 30% of the state, so numerically, we're right in there. We should be getting 29% of the contracts. We don't get 29% of the contracts for a multitude of reasons. Some of it is lack of capacity on our behalf as minorities. And of course, you know, I say Black business because I'm not a minority. I'm a Black man who happens to be in a country where we're outnumbered, but around the world, I'm the majority. If you don't know now, you know. Black and brown, okay? But be that as it may, in America, we're the minority. There's a certain amount set aside for us. But of that 30% that we ought to be getting, we're getting like 1%. I work with a group in New York City, the Black Business Empowerment Commission. Their mantra was from 2 to 22. They are 22% of the population in New York City, Black people. 1 in every 4 people you see in New York City is a Black person. Are Black people getting 22% of the contracts in New York City? No. What are they getting? Same thing down here, 1 to 2%. 1 to 2%. It's not a lot because those who are used to getting the contracts don't share. So imagine some steak is on the ground. You got some hungry dogs. Who gets to eat? The bigger, badder dog, the alpha. That would not be us, technically. How do we get more of that steak so that we can not only eat ourselves, but hire and hire people so that they can feed their families and put food on their tables? And that's why we push for a Black governor, a Black lieutenant governor, Blacks in important positions, decision-making positions, because all of this stuff, all of these antics about democracy, mean absolutely nothing if we ain't got no damn money. And I think this time around we have a governor who can push the envelope. Now it's up to us as to whether or not he's going to be Barack Obama-ish. It's up to us. Us. You. What's Westmore going to do? What are you going to make him do? What are you going to ask him to do? What are you going to be in position to receive if he does? West can throw the ball downfield all day long. But somebody's got to be downfield in position to catch the ball, bring it in, and score. If he's just throwing the ball downfield and we're not down there to catch it, it's irrelevant. We'll tell you some more. Let me get some of these comments up. Good morning. Whatever. The two Michaels. So let me share some more. We are going to honor esteemed attorney Billy Murphy, longtime supporter of this network. We've been around 20 years. And that's what Saturday's celebration is about. 20 years of BeMoreNews.com. Black USA came about in December 2020. We have since streamed from New York, Baltimore, D.C., Atlanta, Miami, Oakland, and L.A. Now, Miami down south must be on winter break. But nonetheless, we still get to touch the West Coast. Billy Murphy has been a supporter from the beginning. Step right on up. And we thank him for his support. He's been an encouragement also. As a matter of fact, he wrote the foreword to my book, I Am Black Wall Street. I will be selling this book on Saturday. Many thanks to Kevin Brown and Nancy Bosnack. That's where we'll be having the facility, having the event on Saturday. What is that location? 131 West North Avenue. Just looking over Billy's forward. It's not that long. And the book's only 98 pages. A lot of people haven't read it, though. And if you read it, you'll find that there's some history that you won't learn in schools. I promise you. We have information in this book that might make you feel proud to be Black. America has a way of skewing the story. America and Hollywood, going back to the days of D.W. Griffith's The Birth of a Nation, has had a way of stereotyping Black people with, huge lips, huge red lips, watermelon, like Black people, the only ones that like watermelon. Like Black people, the only one that put that watermelon all the way in. We go all the way in, like we the only ones. Like we the only ones that eat chicken, fried chicken. That's the stereotypical nature of Hollywood. Rarely do you see a Farrakhan, for instance, on regular television. Or Malcolm. Strong Black men. Quite often they want us in dresses. And I'm not knocking those who wear dresses. I don't wear a dress. My peers don't wear dresses that I know of. But America keeps trying to shove these things down our throats as if we have to adhere to these things. And I'm here to tell you, you do not. I look at the various peoples from around the world who come in, Pakistan, India, China. They don't fall for that foolishness. But America has a way of trying to emasculate the Black man. Cut our testicles off. Because some people are jealous, fearful. If you've been doing cruddy things to Black people, here's the best advice I can give you. Pay attention. Stop. Stop. Just stop. We're asking you, stop. Stop treating Black people badly based on the color of their skin. You lock up a Black man, lock up a white man. Watching Fox this morning. Fox put out a news report that the state of Maryland public education is going down. The entire state of Maryland, COVID, pandemic, quality education going down. Entire state. They spent every bit of 3 seconds on it. But Baltimore City public schools, they rake over the coals. I saw the superintendent of schools. I had no idea of who it was. You don't hear about that person. Is it because they're Republican and in a Republican gubernatorial administration? But Baltimore City public schools, and I am not defending Baltimore City public school system, the CEO, lady making 300 plus a year. But fair is fair. They only said something about the state for 2-3 seconds. But Baltimore City, they talk about all day long. I think it's because Baltimore City Public Schools has a black lady CEO, and I'm not defending her. But I don't like unfair fights, and Fox consistently does unfair fighting. Mackenzie Elliott, that's the reporter lady, right? Mackenzie Elliott has it in for Brandon Scott. She follows him all over the place. Mackenzie Scott talks about the squeegee kids every day. Mackenzie Elliott, that's her name. Was it Missy Elliott? You know what I'm talking about. Little white lady over there at Fox. She talk about the squeegee kids every day. But do you know what I see every day? I don't see the squeegee kids every day because I don't go down that highway or have to deal with that these days. But I tell you what I do see. I see white addicts in my alley every day. That's never on Fox. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. They won't show you one white addict. They'll talk about the safe streets. Talk about safe streets every day. I don't feel safe in my own damn alley. It ain't from black people. It's from addicts that I'm chasing out the alley, trying to crawl into houses, crawl into spaces, light fires. Just had a fire last week. This is real. Every day we see it. But Fox don't tell you nothing about it. They paint a skewed picture. And these are jealous, hateful people. Their mothers didn't love them. That's my salute. That's my answer. That's my response. Their mothers didn't love them. If their mothers loved them, they would learn how to treat people with respect. Everybody deserves respect, from the addicts in the alley to the person sitting in the top seat. Everybody deserves respect. Give respect, you get respect. But there's a universal law. You don't give respect, it's going to come back around and bite you in the butt. Let me go through some of these other honorees. And that's my take on Fox. Racist. They follow Brandon around this whole damn city. And it's like, okay, don't y'all have anything else better to do? Tim Regan. Heard Michael Haney make some comments about Tim Regan, Jane Miller. Yes, we honor white people. We recognize white people. There's some decent white people. And I love me some Jane Miller. I don't know about you, but personally, I like her. You know why? Because she's thorough, in your face, does her damn job. Or when she was a journalist, did her damn job. Does she have any issues with the black community? I don't know. That's up to you. You ask her. I don't have a problem with her. She's always treated me with love and respect. If she didn't treat you with love and respect, I don't know. Maybe it's something you did. Attorney Robert DeShield, longtime supporter of particularly this BlackUSA.News network. Big ups to Mr. Bob DeShields. Marsha Jews is also on that list. You've seen her on this network before. Dr. Andre Bunley. Also, Dr. Michael Zolikoff. And of course, Dr. Andre Bunley is a doctor of education who probably should be the school CEO at minimum. I don't know why Dr. Bunley is not the school CEO. We need some people in there to know how to handle Baltimore students who've been in their houses, who understand how they live, what they see every day, the depression they go up around. All of these students need some damn therapy. We got all of this money for gambling, but we treat our kids like they're not a priority, only for Fox to come and talk about them standing on the corners every day. We have to do better than this. We have failed these young people in Baltimore City and other urban jurisdictions. Harford County starting to get off the hook. You got to pay attention. You got to, many, it's no secret. Fatherlessness is real in the Black community. In my day and time, daddies were more in the household. Before me, my brother's generation, 15 years older, fathers were in the house even more. But slowly, but surely, the Black man has been sucked out of the picture. And that's why you have what you have today. And nothing's going to change that unless you put these Black men back in their children's lives or reconnect them. So that's one thing that I hope this governor looks at. The entire child support system. It is oppressive in nature. It has no concern about reuniting kids with their fathers. It's just a platform quite often for bitter ass people to go after their child's father because things didn't work out and somebody moved on and somebody's still bitter. We need to address these oppressive laws and reconnect these children with their fathers, because now it's becoming multi-generational, almost a mental illness. I'm entitled to this. He ain't no good. You know the conversation. Meanwhile, that baby ain't getting to see his daddy. And some people so sick that they running into the second generation. They don't get to see their granddaddy. And some people sicker than that, they don't get to see their great granddaddy because somebody had an issue. You know who you are. Let me tell you some more about these honorees. Jimmy Britton, my main man, Class Act Catering. Mr. Jimmy has been such a counselor, such a big brother for years. And he is a reminder of Black manhood in the city of Baltimore, because sometimes I wonder what happened to Black manhood in Baltimore. Baltimore used to have some of the thoroughest cats in America. They still fear us around the country based on what older cats used to do. Where are we today? Are we a bunch of poo butts? Are we in it for the long haul? Is this really our city? Do we own anything? I know we stand on the corner, we talk about this my block, this my block. When we don't own anything, you have the deed. Maybe we got to go back to elementary school, learn what a deed is. If you own the block, then you got a deed. And you're paying property tax and insurance. Or are we out here selling dope to all of our family members and friends only so we can move to another hood after we done trashed our own hood? And then have the audacity to say, oh, white people gentrifying the city. That's not entirely true. Your Black ass decided to move to Randallstown and then point fingers back at Baltimore City, and you know who you are. That's why we're going to recognize Mr. Kenny Brown, because he's from North and Bent Low. And he never forgot the hood. Matter of fact, we have a meeting tomorrow right here over at the Emodge Center. Have you been to the Emodge Center? 2132 West North Avenue. I tell you what, if you meet me there tomorrow at 3 p.m., I'll buy you a slice of pizza. They got good pizza. Got to check it out. Jake Oliver's going to be there, and Barbara Brown Armstrong. Jake Oliver has been a big brother, particularly in the realm of journalism. Lawyer, lived in New York City, worked in Connecticut, insurance, law, businessman, took the Afro to higher heights than ever before, particularly in the realm of digital. It was Jake Oliver who told me to get a Twitter account. I thought he had lost his mind. It's around 08, 09. I listened to Jake. I listened to Alexis when Alexis told me to get a Facebook account, even though I built the page up to 211,000 followers, only if they have Facebook say, it doesn't exist anymore. We were touching 4 to 6 million people every 30 days. So I imagine the numbers are somewhere similar. because you can't stop the light. You can't stop the light. The light gonna shine through. I don't care how much darkness they try to put over us, how they try to put a veil over us. We coming through like the sun. Get over it. We still here. And then what DMX said, Cynthia Brooks. Cynthia Brooks is one of our honorees. Cynthia Brooks is B. Gaddy's daughter, and she runs the B. Gaddy Center. And I'll stop with Mr. William Hobson. Mr. William Hobson has been a long time supporter. My first office was there for about 18, 19 years until they closed the building, because you need to have an office where you can meet. And Mr. Hobson provided me that opportunity. Of course, as this digital world has evolved, having an office is less important than having a computer and access to the internet. So I hope that you get a ticket to the event, blackpressmatters.eventbrite.com. It's going to be some networking. Honestly, this is the best curated event ever for us. Heavyweights will be in the room. If you would like a show on this network, we'd love to have you. As 2023 is coming about, just looking to push the ball forward even more. We have a Black governor. We're going to have more coverage of Annapolis, thanks to people like Richard Deshae Elliott, brilliant young man. Thank God I've made his acquaintance. We recognized him earlier this year down here in Baltimore, down at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center. But being involved in Annapolis is very important. As a matter of fact, I don't know what you're doing, but this is what, the 7th of December. In just over 30 days, the General Assembly will kick off. Westmore gets sworn in on January 18th. So honestly, it's time to go to work. If you have issues that you want to get pushed in Annapolis, if you don't know the process, now's the time to get familiar with it. Start lining up your rides, start lining up the delegates and or state senators that you need in order to get legislation passed. We need to be in Annapolis. I remember Ralph Hughes, former state senator for the 40th district. That's where Antonio Hayes is now. Ralph Hughes used to take a bus of 18-year-olds to Annapolis every session. We don't have brilliant politicians like that anymore. Old school, basic organizer skills. We want to do everything swift and fast and send out an email. Or how about this? People who want to do community planning and they have Zoom meetings and they never go out to the community. You ain't did no damn community organizing. You got to knock on doors. You got to see where people are at. You got to go to them. But we have this Betty Crocker microwave approach to stuff that we used to do from scratch. Anything from scratch is better. The prefabs are nice. But when you watch like a master carpenter build something from the ground up and spend an inordinate amount of time on the foundation, because the foundation is everything. That's just like education with our young people. That's just like building up a community. The foundation has to be strong. And our foundation has historically included our churches and our mosques, even our Masons, Daughters of the Sphinx, the Masonic orders. There was a time when all of these things were working in tandem. People weren't afraid of Pennsylvania Avenue and Druid Hill Avenue because this is where we are. This is where we were. But we've since did a lot of moving. 50 years of moving out Liberty Road. Brain drain. Our best and brightest have left us in many instances. They moved to the county. Speaking of which, thank you to Julian Jones, Baltimore County Chair, big supporter of Black Press Matters. Thank you Had to go all the way to Baltimore County. Thank you also to Baltimore City Councilman John Bullock. Thank you for supporting this network, Councilman Bullock. Julian Jones been a long. I remember when Julian first ran for office. Julian bucked the system. The powers that be did not support Julian. Julian won. Didn't win the first time. I don't think he won the second, but the third time he won. Second or third time, he won. The traditional supporters did not support Julian Jones. And so Julian Jones climbed that ladder by himself. His wife was there, but he climbed that ladder by himself and he got in there. And I'm not saying people didn't vote for him, of course not. But I'm talking about the inner circle, the politicals. They weren't supportive of Julian, just like Baltimore City. Nobody supported B. Gaddy. Not on the city council. No, they did not. They did not support her at all. Told B. Gaddy to kick rocks. We know how black people do when they get in position. Which brings me to my final message for any new blacks who find themselves in leadership positions. Don't forget how you got there. And just like we voted you in, we can vote you out. Just like we put you in position, we can put you out. And this has nothing to do with the new governor. It has to do with black people who get in position, generally. City, state, county, New York, California, the White House, wherever. Don't get in there and forget where you come from. If you're not there to help poor black people, you have a problem out of me. And we know the governor's all about helping poor black people because he said that over and over. No one left behind. Those people that join that administration, I hope you have the same mentality. I hope this ain't just about you. Remember, Barack Obama got in office. Lady down on the Eastern Shore said, after his 8 years, it wasn't supposed to be about you, Barack. It was supposed to be about us. This is supposed to be about us. Don't get down there and get new and bougie, because you're not. Same person we've always known. Don't get a little bit of title and all of a sudden now, I'm so. No, you're not. We've seen them go up and we've seen them go down. What they say, be careful who you step on your way up the ladder, because you might have to kiss their butt coming down. My name's Doni Glover, and I hope you have a beautiful day today. Good morning, world. Be nice to somebody. Don't forget where you come from.